Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host. I personally am a horse lover. I wish I still had horses. I don't anymore. Quite frankly, I can't afford horses anymore. I'm on a television salary. But there's good folks up in the Toronto area who've been doing really good work for the last 12 years. It's the Trusting Spirit Horse Group. They rescue horses that, quite frankly, need to be rescued. There's too many of those. And they got a big project to Make a Difference Day, and here to talk about their organization and what's going to go on Saturday the 27th. To my immediate left, I want to get your name correct, Stephanie Steibel.
Correct.
And to my far left is the lady who started all of this back in 2006, Claudia Trapp. Hello, Claudia.
Hello.
Let's talk about your organization, Claudia. This is your baby. You did this.
Yes.
Take me back 12 years ago. How did this organization come to be?
I actually had been looking for a horse, and in doing so, I found a little horse tied to a tree. It was just a skeleton with a hide hung on him, and they never made a pasture for him. And I brought him home, and that was my first rescue, and it just kind of evolved. It took on a life of its own. I had told my vet that if she ever ran across another horse that had an issue, needed a few groceries, I'd donate a bale of hay. And she called me a couple months later and said, "We have 18 starving horses, how many can you take?" And I kind of laughed. I thought she was teasing me, and she was dead serious. They had horses that maybe had 1 to 2 days to live. I mean, how can you say I'll only take a couple? We took all 18 in, and that's what kind of started the whole project. And looking out in the pen, we decided we really need help. So we became a 501c3 and put ourselves out there as a rescue.
When I hear about 18 horses that are about ready to go to horse heaven, my first emotion is anger. I get mad. How did this happen?
Yes.
You're obviously a very empathetic person, but I go like, who would do this to a horse?
I really try not to judge, because then you get kind of wrapped up in that. And in this case, it was a divorce, and the horses were like their kids. They got caught in the middle of it. It was January, middle of winter, freezing cold. The woman turned the water off, so all the troughs froze, and then put a restraining order on the ex-husband so he couldn't come and turn it back on. And it was just one of those horrible situations. They had problems of their own.
Yeah, it's understandable how you want to, that's probably a rarity, though. Most of the time, it's just people who probably got a horse and, oh, I'm in over my head now. Is that?
Yes,
Well,
exactly.
Go ahead, Stephanie.
Actually, we had a lot of that. And so we had to make a policy to deal only with the animal protection agencies.
Okay.
Because we even had people who wanted to get rid of an older horse so that they could upgrade. And so they would try to
Trade in a new model for an old one, right?
Right.
This isn't a car dealership for crying out loud.
And we'd also have people call and ask us to go to a location where they had seen what they perceived to be an abused horse. And that's not our job either. That's for the law enforcement agencies. So we kind of had to make a pretty black and white line as to what our role is. So we are not going out searching for rescues. We are a facilitator to help the people who are seizing horses that are in trouble, as well as horses that need temporary shelter from fire situations, evacuations.
So you started out with just, according to your notes here, you've taken in 51 horses, most of them mares, or over half of the mares?
Yes, yeah, quite a few mares.
Feeding and taking care of horses, and I know this for a fact, costs money. In fact, it costs a lot of money.
Yes,
Where does I know you're a 501c, but where does your money come from, Claudia?
We beg a lot. We have donations. People will bring us some hay. For a while, people were asking us to go get the hay. We have some, can you get it? But we all have full-time jobs. We have families. We have this. It's very difficult to do that. So if people can bring it to us, we so appreciate that. Money, if they have tack, used tack, we can always use that. And then Stephanie organized a tack sale every year for us, and that's our main fundraiser. We've gone to service groups that come out, and they help us with a lot of our projects, but then see our need, and then they make donations to us also.
How many horses are at your facility right now as we speak on this? morning?
We have 8 rescues
Okay.
that they can be adoptable. Some we kind of think might end up being a permanent resident with us. But on occasion, we're happily surprised where somebody just wants a pasture mate or a friend for their other horse, and it works out great. We have the horse that is lame and can't be ridden, and it works just perfect
And
for
horses
them.
are sociable animals. They like to hang around other
Yes.
horses,
Right.
and that's critical.
Exactly.
Right, they don't want to be alone.
No. Well, talk about your campus, your actual physical location of this. Horses need room too, besides.
Yes, we have large paddocks for each one. They can run, they can move, and then there's a shelter so they are protected from rain, wind, snow. We try to limit how many we have in each one so they have their social aspect of it, but they also have room to move and graze and just kind of get the exercise
Just
they
be
need.
a horse. Yeah, just
Yeah.
be a horse.
Then we do have a couple pastures that we got grants for. They're irrigated pastures, and we rotate them through those. There's some horses that have been in tiny little stalls all their lives, and so we don't just turn them loose on that.
Sure.
We kind of work them up to it, and it's just a happy, happy thing when you can put them out there for the first time and see that they're a horse and they're just...
That was my next question, Stephanie. I'll ask you, how do you know when a horse is really happy? I mean, dogs wag their tail, but what does a horse do? Does a horse just feel good? You just know, you get that vibe?
You can see it in their behavior. You know,
Yeah.
they may not be running around to express that. We had an example of a horse that was very depressed, which I haven't seen before. And it was, I mean, when they're neglected, they almost have no personality. They're just very down. But we had one that we'd had for a while, and we moved her in with some new pen mates. And she was so depressed, she'd go stand in the back. It was very clearly visible
Yeah.
that she did not want to be in
Head
with those
down.
new pen mates. So
didn't- yeah.
they're subtle signs.
You probably know better than I would. How do you, when you first rescue horse first ends up at your facility? Obviously, there's that weaning period. How does that work? I mean, as you get horses are going to be natural. If they're being abused, they're going to be untrustworthy of human beings to begin with, right?
Correct.
So how does that prospect begin? I mean, how do you get the horse from being near death to a happy horse?
It's spending a lot of time just standing out there with them, slowly working up to them. There's quite a few that you cannot touch them, no way, no how. And it is just sitting out there, getting a stool and sitting out there with them and let them make the decision to come up to you a lot of times, working up to them and putting a hand on them and then walking away. And that's very, very hard to do because once you touch them, you want to hold them, you want to say it's going to be okay, but you've got to walk away and not overpower them with what we want. And you can see in their behavior and how they respond to you. And then pretty soon, yeah, they're putting their heads over the fence looking, oh, someone's coming. Oh, hey, me, over here. You know, it's great.
The other horses are saying, oh, by the way, Claudia and Stephanie are cool. Yeah, come on over, guys. Come on, see them.
Well, that's actually a tactic we'll use. If
Really?
we have one that's very standoffish, we'll put one that's very comfortable with people and very friendly in with it, and they will mimic that behavior.
Oh, I did not know that. Let's talk about Saturday. We got some photos of what you have going on at your fine facility. First of all, you got a barn or a paddock that's like it's like
Right.
falling apart.
Yeah.
So what are we looking at here? Explain to this, Claudia and Stephanie.
This one has been there the longest, forever, and it was put up as kind of a temporary thing, and instead of getting back to that, we just kept adding more.
It was a Make a Difference Day project, probably
Okay.
one of our very first Make a Difference days.
Yeah, it looks like it's been added on, not by Frank Lloyd Wright anyway.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
like-
It was actually repaired last year.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, so
and
now
I've
it's
seen
beyond
fences look better than that too.
right.
Yeah, this is an example of them leaning over, getting the grass that's greener on the other side, and just working their way down. We've found new types of fencing that we want to try, and there's no straightening this up anymore. We have to take it down.
You can only repair it for so much before it just
Right.
is unrepairable.
Exactly,
Right.
yes. So, and we have hot wires on a lot of them so they don't lean over, but it's amazing how smart those horses are. They will stand parallel to it and swish their tails until they break that hot wire and then lean over.
They're
Yeah.
that good.
Yeah, oh, yeah. They can outsmart me any day.
So what can people do on Saturday the 27th to help this organization out? You just a strong back, and what do you need?
Yes, we need people that, well, actual knowledge of how to do this would be great, but we can certainly show them how to use a hammer, take the fencing down, take the shelter down. We will rebuild it. Yeah, and we also have some small projects that are great for kids.
Okay.
You know, because we want to get them involved.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
There's some kids having fun.
Yeah, with little Mighty Mouse.
We also have a link on our website. If people are not physically or schedule-wise able to come out, they can make a donation
Okay.
through our website, and that will help with the fencing supplies and
Do
the
people need to
shelter.
bring tools and gloves and that kind of stuff too? Or
Definitely gloves,
Okay.
good sturdy work boots, long pants. There's no place for shorts out there.
Right.
Yeah.
Or tennis shoes, really,
Yeah.
if they can help it.
yeah, good solid work boots. So
Yeah.
there's some kids pitching in. This is all last year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which begs the next question: where is your fine place? Where can we find Trusting Spirit?
We are on the highway going into Orondo between mile marker 139 and 140. And so whether you're coming from the north or the south there. And we have the only white rail fence out front.
Okay.
And just come on in the gate and you'll find plenty of parking room and we will grab you.
And just for general donations, like, hey, Claudia, Stephanie, I got hay I don't need, or my wife and I are downsizing and we're not going to have our property anymore. You want to come get some hay? Just general donations. Probably the best thing you need is money, right? Just plain dough.
That always is number one on
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
list,
Yeah.
certainly.
And we have a link on our website
Okay.
as well. The Facebook is just kind of a temporary Make a Difference Day. If they have donations, small tack donations, I work in Wenatchee
Okay.
and can facilitate a meeting. Hey, we really prefer they deliver it. We're not set up with a small trailer
Is-
to get small loads.
That's understandable. Is the Wenatchee Valley a good horse town? Good area here for if you're a horse lover?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Oh,
it
yeah.
is.
For general people, just generally take care of their horses. They're pretty good at it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a while when the economy was so bad, we saw a real uptick in calls and please help us. But generally, they are the ones that help us out. You know,
And they're outlying areas. I would say the majority of our horses are from outlying areas, not from the Wenatchee, East Wenatchee area in general.
Is there anything better than being on the top of a horse on a nice, peaceful Sunday morning, just taking a ride in the trail? Isn't that
We-
about perfect?
We
Yeah.
just had our board meeting
Yeah.
on horseback a couple weekends
Yeah.
ago.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, fabulous ride.
One more item of business we need to take care of, because she's not on camera. Cindy Wall is hiding over there in the corner. What's her, first of all, how come she's not on TV? And second of all, what does she do for the organization? Because she's the one who dragged you two in here.
Right.
Yes, she is amazing with all the behind the scenes computers, and she's the one that set up our online donations and things like that. She's great at PR work. She tells us what not to say.
And she's really good at not being on camera, too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
as well.
Although she should be.
Yeah.
Maintains our website.
I'm going to get, speaking of website, trustingspirithorserescue.org. That's a mouthful.
Correct.
Trustingspirithorserescue.org. Do what I do. Just Google it. It pops right up. Keep up the good work. Let me know how it did. And, you know, I love horses and I miss having horses. But if you need anything else from us, from the NCAA Life Channel or me personally or this show, let me know. I'd like to have you on again.
Thank you.
Yeah,
We would
absolutely.
love it.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Claudia and Stephanie and Cindy in the corner who's not participating. She's really good at telling people what to do.
Yes, she is.
She prepares us well.
You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley and the NCAA Life Channel. We'll be right back.